what's one thing that you wish you would have done differently in the beginning?
Just one. Wow. So one thing I think I wish I would have done differently is listen more than talk. I think that you have to realize very quickly that this may not be right for every doctor you get in front of or every person you get in front of, and be willing to accept that. So learning how to listen to where they're at, what they're doing, and if this is appropriate for them, and if it's not, you can move on. If it is, then spending all the time necessary to make sure they get all the information they need to make a decision.
Okay, excellent. Now, Dr. Kelly, can I actually switch your question just a little bit?
Yes.
I'm sure there's something you wish you would have done differently.
Yes.
But you're a great example of actually how to set up your clinic correctly. And I think if I understand, this is your first time to training.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about that thought process and why you chose to do what you did?
Well, like many of you, we jump into things and then you get excited and then it fizzles out and you lose great opportunity. And so for the first time in my adult life, I can't consider myself an adult, husband might disagree, we actually put our staff on the supplements for 60 days, paid for them, and then rescored them. Because I want them to get it, to feel it, to know it. Because if I don't have them as partners, I'm out of luck. So that process is just completed, and everybody did much, much better, with the exception of one gal who just went through a horribly stressful marriage with a crazy mother. And I really feel like the stress piece was key for her. Having said that, now I can go back and begin the process, having them on board, and I feel we'll be very, very successful in making this an easy transition and not a big, dramatic, la-di-da. Because as you know, anytime you make a big change in the office, and we've got 12 people working in a clinic, you think it'd be easy, but it is ridiculously difficult to have consensus and everybody on board, but I feel like we've done that, so I'm excited to get back to work on Monday.
Okay, that's good. So let me add one other thing. From what you correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, she didn't just have her staff take products. She brought them in and went through a wellness checkup with each one of her staff. That's an upfront contract. That's really a great example of explaining how important I think that this program is and getting that message across. And so now when you go back, we talked about that testimony book. And the most important thing for those patients is when they come in, they're going to know everyone that's in the clinic, right? They're going to be more important than seeing my picture. They don't know me, they don't know me at all. So that was really great. Thanks for doing that. All right. Lisa, back to
lessons that wish that we knew 8 years ago. I think as a nurse and as a service person, I really cared more about people's scores than they did initially. And I drug that freaking S1 scanner all over the place. I remember going to health fairs and not eating, and I was so concerned. We didn't charge people. We made a lot of mistakes, and I remember just being so exhausted and so depressed. I live in Evansville, Indiana. We've made the Gallup poll for such things as most obese city in the United States and most miserable place to live. We're working on that right now. But so, we're talking about a group of people that just, they were curious about it, but they really weren't vested in changing their health. So I would say that you cannot care about the outcome more than the individual that you're talking to. And you've got to learn to manage your energy in this business. Don't leak, because you come back here and you get charged up, you get great information, but you cannot care more than somebody else either about their business success or their health.
What was your second
That's the mistake I made.
I thought you said I would recruited Louis Katie a little sooner in the process.
That's good.
That's what I would have recommended.
Pushed him out of the way. Why don't you say this?
When I came into the business, I had 3 other businesses, and I did Nu Skin part-time for a year, almost a year, very part-time in the background. And I wished I would have picked up the vision sooner. I wished I would have had more of a sense of urgency about the market out there and how much of it I want to own and how big I want to grow my organization. And I would encourage you to leave here Monday with a real sense of urgency.
I would have approached doctors sooner than I did. As a trainer, I was unsure of myself in front of a doctor.